We can never match him, but we try our best and give our all. I give my all and everything. Allahumma salli ala Mustafa Habibna Muhammad alayhi salam. Allahumma salli ala Mustafa. It is 15 minutes past 1 o'clock. That's 1:15 on this beautiful Thursday, the 23rd of April. Zach was just teaching me how to use the equipments here, the technical side of the show. I will learn after the show, because right now, if I press the wrong button, we might be hearing things that are playing off air that are not in collaboration or in connection to the show. All right. Welcome back to Career Compass, your weekly guide to navigating in the world of careers. This is a 1-hour powerhouse show where we dive deep into the career options available for you locally and globally, and where we talk about all things that affect our society. I'm your host, Kelly Ramazani, and I'll be keeping you company up until 2 o'clock. So that's every Thursday, 1 to 2 p.m., only on 90.4 FM if you are in Durban, 105.6 FM if you're in PMB, and anywhere else around the world on www.alansar.org.za. Now, what's coming up on the show today? Well, we're first asking you, how do you predict the future of South Africa, or what do you predict to be the future of South Africa? Because as I'm watching the Madlanga Commission, things are getting from bad to worse to worse. We've got money laundering, we've got looting of resources and funds from the public sector to some, private sectors being involved in this, and it's a complete mess. So how are we going to clean this mess? Where do we begin from cleaning up this mess? That's what I want to find out from you. You let me know, what are your thoughts? Speaking about cleaning up, the March and March has disrupted the economic movement in Durban CBD for about 2 weeks now. I think the situation on the ground is calm right now, but before that, it was a bit hectic. We saw videos of violence and other violations, but they claim that, hey, there's an influx of refugees and we need to do something. Not refugees are protected by the law. Influx of foreigners, undocumented foreigners, and they are to blame for the overwhelmed public sector. I don't know what you think, but I'd love for you to let me know what you think on 060-904-1056. It's about time we have these kind of discussions. We've got so much more coming up your way. Later on, we'll be joined by Zahira Lokat, who's going to be talking to us about the different levels of toxicity in the workplace. I'm super excited about this topic because I have a lot to say, but I also have a lot to listen and learn. I think it's a topic that most of us can relate to one way or the other. If you have been working for some time, you will come across a toxic environment, and that will affect you, not just your productivity at work, but also your mental health, your self-image. And I think we need to start having these discussions. Who should be held accountable? Is it the people in the workplace, or is it the policies or the law or policymakers? Sorry, I'm so stuck with law. I'm stressed with the exams that I'm writing. So please bear with me if you keep hearing me say that word over and over again. Right, this is Career Compass, and you are in safe hands. Greatest man we look up to, and I stay faithful. I learn my lessons all through you. The final prophet, he led the way, so we stay true. I
Give my all and everything. Allahumma salli ala al-Mustafa Habibna Muhammad alayhi salam. Allahumma salli ala al-Mustafa.
Showroom for the full range of car audio. Our TV department carries top brands with quality LED panels, full HD to Ultra HD, and now the experience of Super Ultra HD. Visit our theater rooms and transform your home with brands like Onkyo, Integra, Denon, Boston Acoustics, Yamaha, and more for quality audio-visual experience. Now available, full range of home appliances. A one-stop shopping experience. Call 031 306 4029 or Kenilworth Park, 202 Brickfield Road, Overport. Simplex Radio, the name you can trust.
Gaza needs your support more than ever. Homes have been shattered and families have lost everything. With your support, our teams are delivering clean water tankers, feeding the hungry, and assisting orphans who have no one left. Let us give Gaza whatever help we can. African Muslims Agency, empowering, educating, inspiring.
This May, something beautiful is coming your way. Urban Women and Community Buzz are coming together to celebrate the strength of you, the women who carry it all.
If you're a widow or a single mom who is the sole provider, this is your moment.
We're selecting 50 incredible women for a special day filled with joy, appreciation, and love. Because you matter most.
To qualify, simply DM your story and date of birth on Instagram at Al-Ansar Foundation. Proudly brought to you by Al-Ansar Outreach.
Radio Al-Ansar welcomes your feedback. If you have a broadcasting-related complaint, please put it in writing and address it to the head of the complaints committee. Include your full name, contact details, a clear description of your complaint, and any supporting documents. You can email your complaint to feedback@alansar.org.za. That's feedback@alansar.org.za. Or bring it in person to our Pietermaritzburg office at 240 Ortman Road, Willowton. Your input helps us serve you better.
You've arrived at your destination. You're listening to Career Compass on Radio Al-Ansar.
I will praise you in the morning, to the sunset in the evening. I will praise you. I will praise you. When I'm drowning underwater in the deepest, darkest ocean, I will praise you. I will praise you. And I was born to praise you. I was born to praise you. And I was born to praise you. Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. The merciful Creator made our prophets walk on water. I will praise you. I will praise you. In all of our misfortune, fall on you to rise above it. I will praise you. I will praise you. And I was born to praise you. I was born to praise you. And I was born to praise you. Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. You are the creator, and all that matters.
Career Compass with Kelly Ramazani.
Creator, and all that matter. We seek Allah for protection.
Wow. I had anxiety there for a moment. Oh my goodness. All right, welcome back right into it. It is Career Compass with Kelly Ramazani. I've got my guest already here in studio with us. But before I welcome our lovely lady for today, I just want to quickly tell you about the past few days, the incidents that have been happening the past few days that has led up to this week. We all know about the road rage accident that happened, which cost a life. And the case has been closed because self-defense is self-defense, guys. Yeah. If you're going to threaten somebody's life and they are left with no any other choice but to protect themselves, it is within their rights, even if it will cost you your life. That's the law, and we have to abide by it. All right, cold days are upon us, and judging from today, I can tell you that winter this year is going to be extreme, okay? So the question is, will we afford to keep the lights on? Will we afford to keep the heater on? Minister of Electricity has come up and said, hey guys, hold on, I've got some good news. Yes, the lights will still be on. There will be no load shedding because the power supply is stable. Yeah, it's stable. But yes, there is a but. The electricity price, that's what you need to worry about. And judging the cost of life right now, I don't think most of us are going to be happy about that. I mean, I know I put about 1,000 rand electricity 3 weeks back. It was supposed to cover me for a lot of weeks. It's not. I'm literally frustrated. I am upset, but more so I am just shocked at how much life is becoming more and more expensive. So you let me know on 060-904-1056 what suggestions you have, what pro tips you have. I see a message that come in and says, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Always a pleasure listening to you, Kelly. I'm cooking sheep trotters, paya with beans. This is a top chow for a day like today. Yes, absolutely. The weather is cold and it requires a warm meal. Cooking, by the way, cooking isn't my career. It's just a passion. Enjoy your day. This comes from MH. MH, Jazakallah khair so much for your lovely message. Here's another message that says, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Before Kelly, salams and du'as to you and your entire family and Radio Al Ansar. Always remember you and my precious du'as from the bottom of my heart. What a beautiful nasheed. Career Campus every Thursday. Starts with a beautiful nasheed. I would like to vote to Kelly Ramazani because she's very pleasant and cheerful. Wow, nice. Okay, this is quite a very long message. Thank you so much for the praises. I would like to send it to my mom who thinks otherwise. Thank you for your message. All right, so now let's jump right into the interview that we have prepared for you. Later on, we'll be talking about some soft skills that we have for you as well. Every week, we talk about soft skills that are highly recommended for you to become a valuable member of society. We've also got corporate etiquettes that we'll be looking at. But for now, let's not keep our guest waiting any further. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, I'm joined by Zahira Lockett, founder of ZYYY. ZYYYY. That's going to be the first question I'm going to ask you, Zahira. What does ZYYY mean? Like Z triple Y. What does it mean? But thank you for joining us and assalamu alaikum to you.
Wa alaikum salam. Thank you so much for having me on your show, Kelly. So to answer your question, ZYY is very personal to me.
Okay.
It's a mixture of my name and my children's names.
Aww.
But also it's about, it reflects what I do. So that is elevating, empowering, and enhancing. So you're elevating, you're empowering, you're enhancing.
I love it. Love it.
Thank you.
Consulting and training. Now, today we're going to be talking about what you do, but first let's start to what led you to do what you do, which means you were working somewhere and that it was just too much for you to bear. And you decided to say, you know what, I'm just going to do my own thing. First and foremost, let's look at the workplace and the word toxicity before we look into the solutions, before we look into the different scenarios. Let's first understand the words itself. when we talk about toxic workplace, what are we saying in practical terms?
So, we actually soften the word toxic. And let's be honest, sometimes toxic is bullying, it's favoritism, and it's cliques. And when you're in that sort of environment, it impacts not only your physical health, but also your mental health. The toxic workplace environment, it's dysfunctional. There's constant negativity, and everybody that's in that sort of environment is going to work uneasy. They are constantly anxious. And as I said earlier, it does affect not only your mental health, but your physical health as well.
I know that the body is just so, subhanAllah, like, it's mind-blowing how it stores trauma, how it stores everything, that we go through. And I hear you when you say that it affects your physical health as well, because if grief, if sadness, if anger is not fully expressed or channeled in the right way, your body remembers that.
No,
now,
exactly. And then just to add on to that, you need to speak about it. Because when I say physical, it's not only about losing weight. Some people pick up the weight. You see it on your skin. You see it on how you speak to people. And as much as our body does take it, but we have to accept it.
100%. Let's break down the levels of toxicity, and let's begin with the mild level of toxicity. What does a mild toxic environment look like, in your words or in your opinion?
So in my opinion, mild toxicity is very subtle. It doesn't come up obvious. It could be things like unprofessional behavior overlooked. And I will give you a quick example. In a business that I went in to consult, I like to speak to the workers and to the staff. And two ladies, management, they told me about a situation where one of their colleagues, who was also a manager, she found out that her divorce came through and everything was happy. But then she decided to get intoxicated at work. This is at the workplace. And posted it all over social media. And then these two ladies that were telling me about the situation, they said that their staff asked, is this permissible? So they went on to ask their senior manager, is this permissible? This is what's going on. And they even showed their senior manager the pictures on WhatsApp and social media. But it was brushed. It was overlooked. What was said was that she's been through a lot.
Yeah, let's give her grace.
Yes. So we need to all just be there for her. And that is something that caused so much of confusion in the team, because one person was brushed off, that behavior was acceptable.
It was acceptable, yes.
But for somebody else, you would have been disciplined right through and through.
What you've said right now resonates so much, because there are some cases that you bring forward to management or HR, not because you are being nosy,
a snitch,
exactly. Like, I'm following this person on social media to see what they're up to. No, it's because it affected my performance as well.
Exactly.
And if this person was underperforming, or they were not able to deliver the deadline or whatever project you had working, it is going to affect everybody in the team.
Exactly.
Now, when you raise these kind of things and management says, no, it's not that deep. It's not that serious. Just give her grace. It makes you question not just your move, but also you as an individual. Like, am I overdoing my task? Am I overplaying my role here?
Exactly.
So it encourages not just, bad behavior, but also it encourages weak performance, in my opinion, I would say.
No, you're 100% right. It does. And and once that happens, you can't get that work back.
100%. I always say that. I think if managers are listening, it will be a good thing to set an example, because sometimes when you break a rule, it's very hard to come back to that rule, being applied all throughout. Now let's go. We've spoken about mild toxic work environment. Let's take it a level.
Okay.
Okay. What does a severely toxic workplace look like, in your opinion?
So in my opinion, when it's a severe toxic workplace, it becomes much more obvious.
Yes.
That's where you clearly see your favoritism, your cliques forming, people being people being excluded. And eventually people stop speaking up. Not because they don't care, but it's because they know that nothing's going to be done about it. And that is really the sad part, that your best performers just shut down. And what's tolerated becomes culture. So
wow.
So if that's what you're going to tolerate, then your culture is bullying. If that's it, then your culture is favoritism, and that's really not on. And yeah, it does again affect your mental well-being.
You know, before I ask you the question that I wanted to ask you, I want to look into that, the favoritism and the bullying and the culture that now becomes the norm. Is there a way to go back? I know in the last question, we said that it's very hard to, reapply the laws that were broken in an organization once trust is broken. But now in a situation where this has become the norm, it has been accepted throughout.
Yeah.
Is there hope? Or one just has to find a way to exit that environment?
There is hope. If there are leaders and managers listening, there is hope, and they are the ones that can make the change. If you are being bullied, I would suggest that you document everything.
Important, very important.
A lot of the time, when you overlook situations at work, it's because you're too scared to take a stand. If you are feeling alone at work, just remember that you are not alone. A lot of people are going through this. But to get back to your question, there is hope. And it all lies within the leadership and management. And management is the one that can turn around the company and the culture.
Wow. So they've got a huge responsibility there. You know, the one thing I always say, because I have friends that are managers, and we talk about these kind of things. And one thing I always say is, it's not just a position for you, it's an amana that has been entrusted by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to give you a leadership position or role. You will be answerable to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in the hereafter, because like we mentioned, there are physical, emotional, consequences to the kind of abuse or injustice that one witnesses. Now let's talk about the psychological impact of working or being involved in a toxic work environment. How does that affect one?
Ooh, I'm going to get a little bit personal here.
Go for it. As long as no names mentioned.
No, definitely not.
Right, let's go for it.
So this does not only impact your work, it goes beyond work. You actually, it follows you home. And that's something that people don't always talk about. You get on a Friday evening comes, you are extremely happy, you relax because there's no work the next day. Then comes Saturday, you're running your errands, doing the usual sports run. Then comes Sunday, midday, boom, anxiety starts kicking in. And that's something that I was going through. And I used to get anxiety for the week that has not yet come. So is that healthy? No, that's definitely not healthy. And then something else which amused me, it really amuses me now, but at the time I realized that it actually wasn't amusing, was my son. He used to send me memes about toxic workplaces, or he would call me, "Mom, come and look at this video." And the video would be about toxic colleagues. Now, that showed that I was projecting myself at home. It was not only affecting me, it was affecting my family as well. And for a little boy to pick up on how mom is feeling,
that is traumatizing.
It definitely is. And that's when I realized that I really need to do something about this. And we need to take that very seriously. And just to add on to that, Kelly, it's not only women that experience this.
No, for sure, 100%.
When a woman experiences this or brings up something in the workplace, we are brushed off as just being emotional. But I once had a male colleague.
Right.
He just out of the blue knocked on my office, came and sat down exhausted. And he said, "I am tired of the office politics."
Right.
And now I'm talking about a grown man with responsibilities, with a family to look after. He said he's tired of being bullied. A grown man telling me that he's being bullied.
Yeah.
And he said that if it wasn't for his children and the school so close to work, he would have left a long time ago. So, people are struggling out there. Internally, people are really struggling with toxic behavior.
That's actually a very important note that you mentioned there, because I do get these messages all the time where people will tell me, hey, I'm stuck in a toxic environment, workplace. I don't know how to leave because I've got responsibilities. And it's not a thing where you just pick up and leave. You know, you got to
Exactly.
have a plan. You got to have some savings for some rainy days. But also there are people that are watching you that you are, you know, looking after, that as much as they want you to be okay, they're also scared. What if things don't work out?
Exactly.
You know, so it's quite a heavy responsibility. And I pray that whoever is going through this, may Allah make it easy for you. I see a few messages that are coming in saying, hey, they're also stuck in this situation. We'll get to that. But first, I want to this experience to a point where your son was able to pick up that, hey, no, mom is not okay. But as a youth, you know, if we can't solve the problem, let's laugh about it. So here's a meme. Hopefully it makes your day. What were the steps when you decided that enough was enough? How did you go on about it and say, hey, I'm going to go create something better for myself? Walk us through the steps that you took.
So for me, it wasn't one moment. It
Right.
was a build-up over years.
Yes.
Being constantly drained, unsure of myself, anxious, that really wasn't me. I made a lot of dua. And then I also remembered what we were taught, that we need to tie our camel and put our trust in Allah.
Correct.
And so it wasn't just about making dua, it was also about taking that step, which was very uncomfortable. I was scared. I still am scared because I'm moving away from stability.
Right.
And in the end, I realized that I can't keep making dua and asking for peace while I'm still staying in a place that's not giving me this peace, that's taking this peace away from me.
Yeah.
And so when I finally left, there was fear. There still is fear. Please don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
But there was also relief. There was this relief that I hadn't felt in years.
Wow.
And whoever's going through what I've been through, when I talk about relief, they'll understand that relief, that the Sunday evening, you can now enjoy your Sunday evening.
You can breathe.
You can breathe. Monday mornings, yes, it's a different hustle now, but I'm happier. I'm not taking out my work on my family. And this is what led me to starting my consulting business, where I bridge that gap between the employer and management. Because when there's toxicity in a work environment, it affects performance.
100%.
And a lot of management does not realize that, but when there's no systems in place, it affects the performance of a company.
100%. You spoke about your business, what you're doing now, consulting and training, but you know, from a career perspective or career coach perspective, I like to call myself a career coach, by the way. It's self-proclaimed. Nobody has that. Consulting takes some time. You have to have full years of experience for you to now consult people. And for you, I believe you gained that experience, you know, those years for you to open this. What has been the biggest challenge that you have come across, but also what has been the biggest misconception too that people have? You know, do they think now you're going to come and lecture us and teach us how to do business, or what has been the feedback and the response?
So I have over 20 years of experience.
Wow.
Yes. In hospitality, marketing and operations, where I've worked in high performing environments where performance was everything. As you said, a lot of people will think I'm coming to lecture.
Yeah.
But once I do have a one-on-one with them, then they see the difference that I can make.
Yeah.
When I introduce the SOPs, which are standard operating procedures, they can see a difference. And that's when we also very often uncover why there's such a high staff turnover. I'll show them where there's low morale or inconsistent service.
Oh, wow.
And that is what a lot of managers and leaders need to understand.
100%, yes.
Yeah.
Wow, that is brilliant. I mean, I think there's a few people that I would recommend that should see you. But no names mentioned. Like, let's talk about the kind of experience that you get, the different types of companies or businesses that you come across. What has been one thing that most of them have in common, apart from toxicity? What has been an observation that you've come across that managers are maybe buying the certificates or qualifications to be there, or are they aware of managing people? What is the responsibility that entails with being a management?
Being a manager is, you need to be human. You don't need to have favoritism and you don't need to favorite people, but you need to also get down on the ground and see what's really going on. I'd say 90% of the time when an issue is brought up, leadership or let's say management gets defensive about it, and they really shouldn't be. Instead, they should listen to the workers and go and see for themselves. Maybe they will actually get some insight for themselves. So if you're working in a hospital and you brought up that this is what's happening at on night shift, don't be defensive about it. Rather, maybe go in on a night shift, because all employees know the schedule of their managers and their leaders. So make a difference and see exactly what the complaint is about. And you'll see such a big difference in how performance is now done and how the staff morale increases.
I've got a few messages that are just, wow, it's beautiful. I'm listening to you, but I'm also reading these messages. I'm like, wow, this is amazing. This is a topic that so many people resonates with. There's so many people from different departments, from educators to senior management to just normal people on the ground that are sending in the messages and saying, hey, this has been something that I've been struggling with and I didn't know the necessary steps. And that's the next question that I'm going to ask you. For somebody who is currently going through, a toxic environment and they're experiencing not mild, but severe toxicity in the workplace, what is your advice to them?
So when we talk about severe, for me, that's always bullying. That's always bullying. My advice to you is to document everything.
Right.
Maybe I'm assuming that it's bullying, but document everything. And when the time comes, send an email to HR.
Right.
Don't do it verbally. Verbally, there's no proof. Do it in black and white. So if anything ever escalates, you have the proof in black and white. And hang in there. You are definitely not alone. I've been through it, and trust me, there are many people that are going through it.
All right, let's read this message. It says, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh, Kelly. Duas that you are well. Just wanted to say, as an educator, we often address cliques and exclusion among learners, but it's disheartening to witness that the same behavior that adults face in the workplace, experiencing being left out, subtle negative comments and division was not just disappointing, was extremely emotional, draining and toxic. I reached to a point where it started affecting me deeply, and I feared that it might take away my love for teaching, which is something I truly value. At that moment, I chose to leave. I felt an overwhelming sense of relief. I guess the relief you're talking about. And though Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala removed me from the situation, it was that situation that was not meant for me. Sometimes walking away isn't weakness. It's choosing your peace and protecting your passion. Jazakallah khair for an awesome topic. Love your vibrant personality and your ability to just be pure and say it like it is. From your loyal listener, Rizwana. Rizwana, shout out to you. Thank you so much. I've been in the office a few times for saying things on here. But this is why we have this platform, to bring to light the matters that are affecting us. We can no longer go on dismissing them and, just brushing it under the carpet. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Jazakallah khair for an amazing topic. Thank you so much. Please let us know what's your name so we send you a shout out. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Kelly, I have experienced a toxic workplace, but I always say it is the managers to blame. There you go.
There we go.
There you go. So I think as a manager, you have a huge responsibility. But like Zahira said, the first thing is for you to be human. Put the qualifications aside, put the pride aside, put the do you know who I am aside, and look into the complaints, the comments that come forward. How can you make the workplace a better place? And Zahira, before we let you go, I just want to ask you, your consulting and training business that you're currently doing right now, you mentioned that there's still some fear, because maybe you're not there yet to where you had envisioned yourself to be, or is it that there is fear that...
there's fear of stability.
Of stability.
Yeah.
So that's the only fear.
That's the fear.
Not fear that there's toxicity somewhere.
No, I'm going to take out the toxicity from the companies now. That is what I'm there for.
I love it.
To bridge that gap between the employee and leadership. That is what I'm there for.
What you've said is something so beautiful, and it resonates so much with this show because I went through some difficulties, finding the right career. I thought there could actually be other people like me, so why not bring about solution? And you went through this toxicity. You saw these, you saw these kind of behaviors happening in the workplace. And you're like, no, you know what? I'm going to breach that gap. I'm going to bring about solution. We absolutely love that. And we ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to grant you the best in your business. But before I let you go, I have got 2 questions. I'm just going to merge them in one. The first is the advice that you have for anybody listening right now. It does not necessarily have to be about career or toxicity. And then the second would be where you are right now. Are there any regrets? Now you're being vulnerable. And I know you shared a fear of stability and whatnot, but was it worth it? You do it again, basically. Would you?
I would do it 100 times over and over again.
Wow.
As you have no idea the relief that I am feeling.
Mm-hmm.
And I am so excited about my business as well and the positive that I can bring to companies. And the advice that I do have for people that are going through what I've been through, the toxic levels, is try and set a boundary at work.
You have to.
Where there will always be cliques, there will always be favoritism. But always remember that you are not at fault. You will be questioning yourself left, right, and center. Am I the problem? What have I done? You are not the problem. The problem is the environment.
I love that. Love that. Jazakallah khair so much. We wish you all the very best. And for anybody that's interested, is there a website? Is there a number? How do they get hold of you?
Yes. So I'm active on all social media platforms under ZYY Consulting and Training. Or you can email me on info@ZYYconsulting.co.za. My number is 071-302-4758. So I am available for companies. If you just need simple advice, please do reach out to me.
Fantastic. Thank you so much for making the time. We wish you all the very best, like I've been saying. And we'll keep in touch. I hope you will be coming on the show more often.
Oh, definitely, Kelly. If you invite me, we have lots more topics to go over.
Of course, 100%. We'll be having free consultations on Career Compass. Zahira, thank you so much. We wish you a fantastic evening. Jazakallah khair. And take care.
Jazakallah, Kelly. Assalamu alaikum to all the listeners.
Wa alaikum salam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Zach.
For over 5 decades, Sunfoil has nurtured a legacy rooted from our land. From a sunflower seed grown with goodness and love, crafted through excellence, precision, and care. Proudly South African and the only 100% pure sunflower oil endorsed as a diamond partner by the Heart and Stroke Foundation. Cook with confidence, serving the best to the people you love, from one dish to the next. Sunfoil, the heart of good cooking.
More than 800 million people around the world live in deep poverty, uncertain of where the next meal will come from. For those on the brink of starvation, a food pact means survival, dignity, and hope. Send food. Send kindness. Be the reason a family does not go hungry. Donate now to Islamic Relief.
Looking for the perfect family day out? Join us at the Magma Agricultural Family Fair, where food, fun and farm life come together. Enjoy exciting activities from animal encounters to live entertainment and hands-on farming experiences. And come hungry because we've got plenty of delicious food stalls just for you. Plot D353 Omlas Road, Camperdown. 1st, 2nd and 3rd of May. Magma, bringing families together, farm style.
Hungry for a deal that hits the spot? Get the top duo deal. 2 large margarita pizzas plus 1 topping each for $1.99. or go big or go home with the Bellissima Duo deal. 2 large Bellissima pizzas for $2.69. Pure flavor perfection. And that's not all. The snack box combos are here, your pizza boy's favorite pack to the ultimate munch box. Don't forget our daily lunch specials, delicious, quick, and wallet friendly. Only at Pizza Boys. Taste that hits different. Pizza Boys, bring your far boom to your slice of life. Find your nearest Pizza Boys near you. Pizza Boys, we don't cut corners.
The names and attributes of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is proudly brought to you by Turkiya, the Modest Boutique, 580 Ridge Road, Demure Couture for the discerning.
One of the great blessings of Islam that I think a lot of Muslims take for granted compared to other religions is just how clear everything is. What's the greatest commandment in Islam? It's to worship God alone. Clear, easy, understandable. And where do you find that commandment in the Quran? Everywhere. Like literally everywhere. Which verse do you want me to pull out for you? So this is a manifestation of Allah being Al-Mubin. He is the one who is manifest and He is the one who's clear. He's more manifest than having the need to be proved. And if you ever find yourself distant from God, then ask yourself who moved. And He is clear in His legislation. He's clear in His communication. Even the Quran was revealed bilisan Arabiyyin mubin. It's in clear Arabic. It's a living language. You can learn it. You can actually access the Quran. You can understand the meanings of this text for yourself, as well as the hadith of the Prophet ﷺ. So these are all manifestations of Allah being Al-Mubin.
The names and attributes of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is proudly brought to you by Turkiya, the Modest Boutique, 580 Ridge Road, Demure Couture for the discerning.
Turkiya brings to you the Modest Boutique, where elegance meets style and exclusivity meets you. Come in and view our personally handpicked range of exceptional quality garments for every occasion, from timeless classics to the latest trends in a range of fabrics to suit your taste. Abayas, top coats, dresses, scarves, and accessories. Let us bring out the diva in you. We offer you a truly relaxing shopping experience, secure on-site parking, open 7 days a week. Follow us on Instagram at Turkiya_Dublin or call 083-786-1065. Turkiya, Demure Couture for the discerning. 580 Ridge Road.
Career Compass with Kelly Ramazani.
A message from the sky, a mercy for mankind.
All right. It is 4 minutes to 2 o'clock. Let's quickly wrap up. And this week, we're going to talk about a soft skill that we've mentioned before. But just to refresh your memory, it is attention to details. I'm not necessarily asking you to become a perfectionist, but if you can, that too would help, especially in a career that deals with money or life or health, that kind of thing. But in all careers, actually, it's very important to be attentive to all details if you can. It is about the responsibility that has been entrusted to you. You have to check, double check, triple check before you submit something. And I know I'm saying this, I'm guilty. I'm guilty sometimes, and especially with media, journalism, or law, where I'm involved. There's lots of reading. You have to read, proofread, and this and that. And sometimes I'm really not in the mood. So I'm so sorry. And then I read, I'm like, yeah, no, it looks good. Send it. And then later on, you reread and you're like, oh, shucks, grammatically, that's not correct. And also sometimes just the order of the sequence of how you arrange the matter. It goes from A to Z, then B, then C, then F. If you had taken the time, you would go from A, B, C, D, E, F, G, and all that, the rest of the alphabet. So the skill is very important to have for your career. It's good to apply to your organizations, to your life in general, it's very important, because this skill of being mindful, of being intentional, of paying attention to details builds up, and it will eventually result to pattern recognition, which we've spoken about a few times here on this show. And we said how important it is to have the skill of pattern recognition, because you're able to put dots together, and especially now in a world of fake news, in a world of AI, in a world where information is not 100% pure. It's important for you to be able to filter it. It's important for you to know where something went wrong. It's important for you to develop the ability to do research. And those skills do not come overnight. You have to build a muscle of repetition, a muscle of resilience, a muscle of critical thinking and creativity. Yeah, that's important too. I think that's the soft skill that we are going to wrap up the show with. Yeah, that's attention to details. I'm trying in my field to be attentive as much as I can, but then again, I'm all over the place because of my neurodivergent gene. But nevertheless, that's not an excuse. I give it my level best in all that I do. But if it is not 100, I believe there's always room for improvement. That's it. I wish you all the very best in life. Thank you all for listening, for choosing Radio Al Ansar, for choosing Career Campus. And yeah, basically that's all I have to say. I'm becoming more and more quieter. Like, people are telling me that. They're like, Kels, you don't talk as much as you used to. Which is a good thing. My mom is really happy. She's like, oh, you're finally maturing. I don't know. We'll see. That's it. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. And I say to you, find your purpose and leave your mark. Zach is telling me, switch off your mic. I'm trying to get this thing off my head first. Thanks, eh? That's it. Assalamu alaikum.